Good morning, you guys. It is Amanda and Barron with Kickin Cancer Cares on KSLM Radio, 104.3 FM and 1220 AM. Our sponsor for this first half is Oddmo's Pizza. Absolutely amazing. They have fresh ingredients. I love their potato poppers to add with an amazing, like your veggie pizza. And if you do cauliflower crust, it's gluten-free. So you just know you've got those fresh ingredients, cauliflower crust, so it's just good for you pizza. And that's not easy to find. So thank you, Oddmo's.
Yeah, so we appreciate Oddmo's being the sponsor for as long as they have.
Say thank you, Mike. You've been with us from the very beginning. I appreciate you.
Well, I'm excited for our location today because we have a guest coming back. Lisa Walker has been here before. A couple times, yeah.
Thank you.
But now we're actually with the YouTube, which if you haven't gone to our YouTube channel, it's Kickin Cancer Productions. Subscribe, like, and you'll see the baseball field behind us.
So beautiful.
But
love this view. It's cool.
You were having a good time with this view, aren't you?
I was.
Well, we have another guest with us, Dr. Bud Pierce. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell our listeners what do you do in Oregon? That's a big, broad question.
Well, I'm primarily a practicing doctor. You know, that's my roots, and I'm still at it 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I actually have family visiting today, so
well, that worked out well.
Yeah, I have this time off, and I've done a fair amount of philanthropy and politics, and just try to engage and be a contributor.
I appreciate that. And then just remind the listeners, Lisa, what's your role here at the baseball stadium?
Well, I'm an owner, and I'm kind of like the mom, designated mom, and the one that, just the one they call if no one else is available and they think it could get done. There's the last hope.
The last hope.
Mom. But yeah, and I'm joyfully still working, and not as much as I used to, which is always good too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I want to get into more of your story in a little bit, but
Absolutely.
we last week we had Matt and Devin on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about some of the events that they have seen happen, some of the culture that they've seen happen, and got their perspective on kicking cancer over the years. Which I met you that very first year as well. So it was great to have them on the show, wasn't it?
It was. I love how I think the big takeaway that I got from it was how much Salem and Kaiser and surrounding communities, we all wrap and rally around each other and support one another, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I really love our community. We are really blessed.
Well, I want to go back to our magazine. We've been talking about this 100 disease-fighting foods. This week is squash.
It's in my garden.
It's in your garden.
Yeah, that's a good spot for it.
It says butternut squash's color comes from phytochemicals that fight antioxidation. Carotenes are one of butternut squash's powerful compounds. They are involved in everything from warding off vision and skin diseases to lowering the risk of lung cancer.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know
I
that.
had no idea that squash actually was a contributor that helps to reduce your chance of lung cancer.
Yeah, okay.
So, Dr. Pierce, as an oncologist, how do you see all these foods contributing to prevention of cancer?
Well, it's really about protecting the DNA.
Okay.
And because adult cancers, at least, not childhood, but adult cancers, years, if not decades of DNA damage, and the right nutrients can protect your DNA. So that's why, farm to table and natural and taking it all in is great for you.
Yeah, which squash falls right into those realms.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's good for dogs too.
It's good for dogs too.
It is.
You do like the dog food, don't you?
I do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it.
Well, Lisa, tell us about the stadium, when you guys came down here, built it, kind of the history of this stadium itself, would you?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's so funny. So many great things happened in September, except for a cancer diagnosis, but that was okay too. It turned out to be an okay thing. But we were really blessed. In 1996, actually, we ended up moving down to Kaiser. The stadium had been decided that we were going to attempt to move forward, and the only way to do it was to live here full time. So Jerry and I moved down here and started talking to the city officials about, okay, can this be done? And a very dear friend, Dennis Coho, who has since passed on, was just a huge, he was very much behind what we were doing, and a San Francisco Giants fan, which didn't hurt at the time.
That helped a bunch.
As we were affiliated with them. So, it came together. It was a lot of late nights, a lot of hard work. I realize now how impactful stress can be.
Yeah.
We broke ground. I want to tell you, we broke ground February 5th, 1997. The stadium was completely built and finished 4.5 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Opened June 22nd. You don't see that happening these days, and you certainly don't see it done for the price that was paid. And it was a public-private partnership, which it's really a beautiful thing. If you have skin in the game, you're going to make sure things get done a little bit better and a little bit more efficiently. So, and that first season, we were pregnant with our son Mickey, who is now our CEO, and thank goodness he loves the business. It's such a God thing. When he stopped his dad and I. It was this summer. He came home he was off to school, and he came home to work, and he just stopped and he said, "I love this business."
The business of baseball.
And it was different from "I love this game." I love this business, and I thought, "Yep, it's all good. We're good. Going to be just fine." So yeah, and since then he got married to a wonderful woman, Celia, and they have 4 children. And those kids, like Mickey, are growing up here at the ballpark.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really
That's
is.
really
I mean,
cool.
it's heartwarming. It's just that's good. And they even brought the 4 cats over, and we now have 4 cats.
I just saw that on Facebook.
Oh my
Yeah, they're all named after the mascots.
Oh, I love that much.
There are on-site cats who take care of the critters that aren't welcome.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
So that was 1997.
that is correct.
And I think it'd be good for listeners to realize that Kaiser Station didn't exist yet, did it?
No, it didn't, and it took a long time for it to come around. But you still got to throw the apples to the horses that were out in the field across the way, and that was kind of cool. But yeah, it took a while for Kaiser Station to come.
Yeah, 'cause it wasn't like 8 years before Target even got
About
here.
that, yes.
So it was a kind of the vision that you'd build the stadium and
And
then commerce would fill in behind it.
that's right. We were the anchor for that, that
Yeah.
attraction, and it took a while, but they did show up. It's a good thing that they're here.
So this would have been 1997, and Mickey was born,
In 1997, October of that year, yeah.
and then something happened the next year with your cancer.
Well, it was actually, it was interesting. I remember being, 9 or 10 years old, wondering what the year 2000 was about, because it was so far away.
Right.
And for me, it was about being diagnosed with breast cancer. And it's almost 25 years.
That's
We're not
crazy.
that old, though.
You're not. You're not.
I was 12. No, never. Anyway, no, and it was. It's all a story of grace, and it was. I remember just. I believe that before I was ever even. I believe that my faith was the first huge step in getting beyond cancer, and
Okay.
it had to do with honest, the ability to look inward and say, okay, please forgive me, I'm very afraid.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was sort of my meeting, that contrition of I'm afraid, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And truly, a cancer diagnosis is something you want to just take off.
Right.
Okay, it hits you and it doesn't go away. You don't get to step back out of it. You want it, 2 days later you go, okay, I'm done with this now, I just need to take a break. And it doesn't work that way.
How did you know? What was the indicator to you that you had cancer?
What's really interesting is I was walking through my house. I had this really powerful sting, like a bee sting or a bug bite, and I was like, there's something there. And went to see my doctor at the time. It was like Kate Davidson. She's a midwife. Anyway, and she said, yeah, let's go ahead and have an mammogram, which took days to get. I'm just like, okay, I don't need to worry. 80% of the time, it's just a statistic. And so I didn't. I was really blessed. I was able to not worry at all. Between the time it was looked at and the time that I actually had the cert, and I was really blessed. And it was, again, about the faith of, okay, worry doesn't make anything better. And I'll be really embarrassed if I find out it was nothing and I was doing the hand wringing this whole time.
Right.
So, yeah. And it was August of that year that that I actually found it, and it was in September that they did the actual surgery. Yeah.
So less than a month later,
Yeah.
about. Okay.
Was Dr. Pierce your doctor?
He wasn't, poor guy. He wasn't at the time. I drove him crazy. I was blessed to meet Bud through Manya Hellman, our renegade. Anyway, she was my doctor at the time, and she suggested Bud, and so he got me in as fast as you could get somebody in, and it was kind of I don't want to call it a roller coaster because I don't think that's really fair. It's a roller coaster of information. And I'm the type of person that I have to know everything he knows.
Right.
I had to know everything that he knew to make sure that he was doing a good job.
Tons of questions.
And my husband looked at me and just said, I don't think this is, poor guy. But he was so good in the sense of, it can't be easy to take somebody who has this hyper-vigilant, okay, I want to know what you know.
Right.
And be able to say, fear not, it's all good. And he did. I don't think I was more blessed. There was only one hiccup, and it had nothing to do with him. I got sick.
Oh.
I got sick the day before my third treatment. I'd gone down to California. My daughter gives me a big kiss. She comes down with something, and of course, it's like the plague for me.
Right, right.
And that was that was. I told him, "Oh, we don't need to do any more treatments now, right?" No, that's not how it works. So
Nice try.
yeah, that was this, and it was a smooth bump, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
It was really, I was really blessed.
So how long after your cancer diagnosis did the idea for a baseball game come to you?
Oh, I started working him over early on, only because I liked the idea of not fundraising, and I realize that it sounds cocky and arrogant to say anybody can raise money, but I really thought it was more important about raising emotion, coming together and comforting each other,
Right.
and being able to take your diagnosis off for a night.
Right.
Yeah.
And to just be with other people and draw nearer to not pressing on the money, that money's going to make a difference, because for many people there's no amount of money that's going to make a difference.
Amen.
Right.
But there is a truly human element that can. And so and he was all in. I mean, it's like, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, the way you just explained it, I'm all in. That's great.
Well, and it's
That's true.
Well, and it gets better every year with the sense of every year that I'm so thankful to be still alive.
Yeah.
And able to tell people that it doesn't have to be anything other than a bump,
Right.
And you've done the same thing with many people, and I think that it's a joyful experience at this point, and I pray that it stays that way.
So what year was your first cancer awareness baseball game?
Well, I want to tell you 2001. I want to say it was 02.
Okay.
If that sounds right.
20.
Because it
Been
was
a
a year.
while.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah,
was
it's
a
been
year
ago, yeah,
after. I remember. It was 02.
Okay. And was it relatively small that first year?
It wasn't. I mean, we had like 50 people.
Okay.
But what's interesting is the more we nurtured it, and I got more people sending emails saying I can't be there, but would like to send, and because back then we weren't really using the website like we do now, but I was getting more email and letters and things like that from people saying, I'm really grateful you're doing this. Can't be there. So a lot of people just sent pictures.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And there's another one at the end of this month, isn't there?
Yes.
Yep, end of May.
End of
May
May.
30, 31st, and June 1st is the
Yeah.
next Cancer Awareness Weekend.
Right.
So how did it
Early.
develop into a full weekend?
That was his idea.
Sorry.
One game wasn't enough?
He liked
It just grew.
Yeah,
It just
well,
grew.
the
So,
fireworks too. You like
Yeah,
the
it
fireworks.
just grew to make more fun.
Okay. And Major League Baseball has actually recognized you for what you did, didn't they?
Well, they picked it up. The beauty of a great idea is the complementary, taking it and using it somewhere else, and that's what really happened. That other teams had picked it up, and then the interesting thing is what was recognized was a couple of the people that were out here. not Ken Griffey Sr., but there was another gentleman that was here that was Major League and was a cancer survivor, but he did not actually throw out a first pitch. And I can't even I apologize, I can't think of the name right now, but he's the one that I think started that ball rolling, so to speak. And
well, no, you've had Steve Garvey here in the past.
Yeah, and Steve's been here a couple of times. Ken Griffey Sr. was here. We've had several others reach out to us, but it just was really more about in the early 2000s when Rawlings started, asking us questions about the event, what we were doing, and then it just became a really great opportunity to tell other organizations, this is something you should be doing for your community. And I preface it with, please don't ask for money.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you have people there who accept donations because it's helping their entity, like, Kickin Cancer,
Sure.
write a check, by all means do. But our job, we're not out there asking for anything other than just come and just have a nice evening.
Well, and I know that over the years of being here, there's one lady who I think she brought like 25 of her family to come watch it.
Yeah.
And it was just a great evening for
That's
them.
so good. That's like a reunion. Those
Yeah.
are the best kind.
Yeah. So have other teams in other cities done the same thing?
Yeah, in fact, I know the Giants started theirs, and that's where we got the We Honor cards that we use, which that was really great. And so many of the minor league teams do it, and I know, what I tried to do is breast cancer gets enough play. It's true, it's one of the most prevalent cancers, but all cancer is still,
Yeah.
Right.
is still something challenging. So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just about one specific type.
Right.
That all people who had experienced it, whether it was a skin cancer or something much more, involved, that they all needed to come, bring family, come and enjoy an evening.
What is you mentioned the We Honor cards. What can you explain that?
Oh, and I was just packing them up here a little bit ago. So the We Honor cards, we hand them out as people enter the gate. And it says We Honor, and then it has this place where you can write the name of a loved one who is a survivor.
Okay.
Or has succumbed of cancer. And then during the fifth inning, bottom of the fifth, we play I Can Only Imagine, which, everybody loves that song.
Yes.
Great movie. And we just raise those and
Just hold them like this?
hold them up and just, it's everyone's moment. And it's kind of like the highlight of the emotional piece to the game, which is, yay, we're human beings right now aren't being appreciated like they should. And that's a beautiful time to say, I remember like my mother or whomever. And whether they're alive or not, we want to honor them because everyone deserves to be honored regardless.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I think we should mention is if there's survivors out there that want to come to this game,
Absolutely.
it's just easy to email, call either way and let them know how many tickets you need.
Right.
And if you're a survivor, you can throw a first pitch out. That's something you've done in the past too, isn't it?
Yes, we always want survivors throwing out first pitches. We've even had children of survivors throw out a first pitch. If there's one thing we can still do here, it's create memories, and that's really important.
Yeah.
That's something money cannot buy.
Absolutely not. And that good time with your family and loved ones and support and just laughter and spending good quality time.
The stories that are told, it's just it's rich. It makes us all step back and say, yeah, I really want to unload the dishwasher another 100,000 times. I want to not complain that, somebody left something on the floor or,
I was just talking to my kids about that.
Yeah, it's a time, it's such an important time to say, life is beautiful, no matter the struggle.
Is there one or two survivors that stick out in your mind, Lisa?
Well, there's always people that have either worked for us. There were the two people that I got very close to when I was in my early treatment, Hilda and Kim. And then there was a couple people that worked for us that, one gal, she died very quickly, but she was so faithful. And see, those are the people that have a happy death.
Yes.
And that's, we're supposed to pray for a happy death. And I mean, and that's, in spite of the challenges of disease, just knowing those people and watching how they had the heart of a champion regardless is really powerful.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got to be rewarding for you to think back on the number of people that have been able to throw pitches out and you've seen over the years.
It I think what it is it's a desire then to do more. It'll never be enough. It's like the people you've touched, and you have no idea because you've never met them in any way, shape, or form. It's so powerful, and it's those things that when things get challenging, you just go back to, there are human beings right now who are much worse off than I am, and are still smiling.
Yes.
And it's a joy-filled opportunity.
How did you get involved with this, Dr. Pierce?
With Lisa? No, I just got recruited. I really like, what I found through the years is attach yourself to other people's ideas and support them. And because, again, we're limited in our vision. And Lisa just had a great vision for this. And when I was growing up, we were a baseball family. When I was a little kid, pretty good at baseball. And of course, wanted to be a Major League Baseball player like most children, at least in my era. I was always separated from that by a lack of talent, but otherwise, so it was great. So it was just such a great idea, and to have people come out and have a great evening in the ball game and just watch, and it's America's game and just fun, and just bring people together. And when people can be around other people that share the same fearsome disease, it's good. It's good. It's just an uplifting event.
Is this an event that you sponsored for a number of years now?
Mm-hmm. Since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We're the sponsors.
See, how many years will this be?
Well, if it's 22, if it's 202, it's 23 years.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah. I said we're not that old.
It's been a great ride.
It has been, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it went from one game to 3 games, right?
It went from Cancer Awareness Night, CAN, to CAW. But it is, I think what's really special about it is that people now, they call us. I mean, obviously, Bud, with his assistant Kelly, who,
Retired.
Yes. She
Morgan.
is. Morgan,
Morgan.
See?
Jealousy.
Well, I won't wear her out.
Yeah.
I want people to call. I wore Kelly out. That's one of the reasons. But I love the idea of them just calling, of Bud being able to say, call the stadium, get your tickets. And that's what they can do. And so we get a lot of phone calls. People call, can I get 5 tickets? You bet.
Yep.
And we give them the best seats of the house until they run out. And having 3 nights, there's generally
Plenty of
there's
seats available.
plenty opportunity. Yeah.
I don't think there's one bad seat. I was just looking and it was like every seat is an excellent view. It's really awesome.
View.
Yeah. It's beautiful out here. Beautiful.
Well, and it's it's funny because I get a lot of people who say, well, I don't want to sit behind. You need to just come out here.
Yeah.
You need to just come out and decide where you want to sit, and then I'll be happy to help you because as you say, there isn't a seat that I would be afraid to put somebody.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of good seats out here.
Yeah.
So, well, we really appreciate what you've done with Cancer Awareness Weekend. Looking forward to working again this year, bringing more survivors out so they get the chance to have an evening at the ballpark and enjoy some baseball.
And those events will be on the website.
Yes, and if you go to kicking-cancer.org under events, it'll be there for you to see and how to get tickets. Again, just email tickets@mavsleague.com. And there's no limit of tickets, is there?
I tried, yeah, absolutely.
We've had a few times we had 60 to 80 from like a place.
Yes,
Yeah,
they wanted a location.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's generally a group of people that there's 10 or 15 survivors in the group and they want to just all be together with their
Yeah.
families. And that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the essence of a good time.
Yeah, you have to. The tickets are no charge. And we have good entertainment, and baseball's entertaining, so
Yeah,
make sure people know that.
We don't want anybody to think that there's a concern. I think the one thing they do end up paying for is parking. That's
Right.
it's $5.
Yeah.
So fill up the car.
Build the
Okay.
car.
All right.
Make sure you bring out some money for something to drink and
Right.
food and all the good stuff to go with it.
radiation oncology, Salem Health has provided, the people get here, or the survivors get here early enough. We give them a $5 voucher
Oh,
to,
awesome.
yeah, to use at the stadium, wherever they want to use.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect. Well, I'm going to thank our sponsor, Oddmo's. Mike is absolutely amazing. His pizza is phenomenal. The wings, he won Best Willamette Valley for his wings last year. They're also amazing. All kinds of sauce. Hurts twice.
Yeah, that's
Careful with that one.
exactly what it sounds like.
Tread lightly with that one. But do yourself a favor and go get lunch over there. We'll be right back. You guys stay tuned.